Over the years, there have been numerous paranormal shows that investigate unexplained phenomena. It's fascinating to watch the teams explore notoriously haunted buildings at night as they try to capture some sort of proof of the existence of ghosts, poltergeists, and even demons. It's even better to see them being scared to death while we are watching from the safety of our homes. Every now and then, these shows capture some pretty incredible footage, and in this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 pieces of footage caught on ghost hunting shows. As always, hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy. Dana Prison in Shrewsbury. Paranormal lockdown followed ghost hunters Katrina Weidman and Nick Groff as they spent 72 hours in some of the most haunted locations in the UK and the United States. And in 2016, they filmed an episode at HM Prison Shrewsbury in Shropshire, England. Shrewsbury's original prison was completed in 1793 and became known as the Dana, as it was built near to the site of the medieval jail of the same name. The current Victorian buildings were constructed in 1877 on top of the original Georgian prison. Over the years, several men were executed at the Dana, and in recent years the prison became notorious for overcrowding and suicides. And in 2013, the jail was finally closed down permanently. Today it's a tourist attraction, with most visitors hoping to catch a glimpse of the many ghosts that are said to haunt the building, earning it the reputation of being the second most haunted prison in the world. Many visitors have experienced an uneasy feeling standing beneath a noose in the execution room, and the building is cold and dark with a heavy atmosphere steeped in misery. The maze of corridors, kitchens and cells are bursting with tales of torture, murder and suicide, creating the perfect setting for Katrina and Nick to spend the night. It was on C Wing where Nick and Katrina chose to sleep in an area considered to be the most paranormally active part of the prison. After a creepy night filled with unexplained noises and a couple of creepy experiences, the pair realized that it was Nick that seemed to have a presence attached to him. The next morning, Nick invited the presence to follow him to the hanging room, a room that has a noose suspended at its center and photographs of the prisoners who were executed there displayed on the walls. One of those prisoners was 21-year-old George Riley, who in 1961 was the last man to be hanged there in what was believed to be a miscarriage of justice, and it was his spirit that Nick believed was following him. Whilst in the room alone, Nick suddenly felt a burst of cold air and a pain in his side. Take a look at what happened next.
Alright, I'm walking into the hanging room. Are you in here? It is freezing right here. There's like a cold that's moving. Like right here, I'm feeling pain in my chest. Like I did the first time I was walking. Get the f out of here, that's...
Could this be the ghost of George trying to communicate? Katrina believes that it's the best piece of footage that she's ever seen in her 10-year career. What do you think? Pendle. Most Haunted is a British paranormal series. Most episodes feature the presenter, Yvette Fielding, a psychic medium, a historian, and a parapsychologist. Other members of the crew are there not only as camera and sound people, but also as investigators themselves. In 2004, over the course of 3 nights, the team filmed a live Halloween special in Pendle. If you've watched our video, 5 Most Haunted Locations in the United Kingdom, you'll know that Pendle and the surrounding area are considered one of the most haunted places in the UK that have long been associated with tales of the paranormal and witchcraft, and an area where many innocent people died after being wrongfully accused of witchcraft. The first night, the team stayed at Clitheroe Castle without much incident, but it was on the second night that things began to take a sinister turn when they moved to Tyndale Farm. Tyndale Farm belongs to the Nutter family, whose descendant Alice was one of the 11 accused witches from Pendle who were hanged in 1612. The farm has been abandoned for over 50 years, and the locals know to stay away from the building due to the paranormal activity experienced there. After walking around upstairs and feeling very uncomfortable, Yvette and the team eventually go downstairs to the cellar and begin a seance. This is what happened.
Use our energies. You alright, Carl?
I am freezing.
It is freezing.
Yes.
It's so cold.
There's,
You alright,
there's close spiritual energy. It could be Alice. It could be Alice Nutter, this.
Okay. Someone's moving the table.
Oh.
Oh my God!
Is that you, Alice?
It's floating.
Yes.
Alice, can you hear me if you can? Make the table move more violently, please, so that we know you're here. Please make the table move more violently if you can hear my voice. Is that you, Alice? Please move the table more. Please, if you can. Let's lift our arms back. Do you think, Kieran?
Yes, to the edge of the table.
Edge of the table.
Okay.
Please try and talk to any of us, please. I can see the breath in front of my... Is it moving?
The seance continued as the program went to a commercial break. It returned to the team members carrying camera operator Stuart outside into the fresh air as he was having trouble breathing.
Okay.
Stuart.
Tell him, Steve, you can take that off.
Hang on. Right, solid support around the back.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Okay.
Oh, Stuart.
He's okay. He's going to be
Stuart,
okay.
he's going to be all right.
He's going to be all right, yeah.
John felt a tightening round his throat, and then the next thing that Stuart is retching like, and then he just went over.
Yeah.
And he's all. Are you all right, Stuart?
some water.
You what water?
Yeah.
Anybody got
Okay.
some water for
You're
Stuart?
all right.
Relax, bud.
That's all they're doing. They're putting like a rope round.
They said, didn't
Okay,
they? That's
yes.
what they were going to do. Stuart,
Yeah, I know, Stu, I know.
you all right,
Okay.
Stuart?
That's
But
all
you
they can
went
do is
over,
place
you
it
went
round
over,
you.
Stuart. Did you feel anything else on your body?
No, it's
Ready
just
to
a
stand up?
strangulation all
Ready to
around me.
stand up?
Yes.
Yeah, I need some water.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh my
Come on,
God.
big guy.
Right, hang on.
Okay.
Come down here. Come down here a second.
I'm okay.
Right. Yeah?
Yeah.
As the episode came to an end, Yvette was visibly upset and shaken at the rapid debilitation of her team, but she carried on with the seance with Derek and Carl. The producer, who was beginning to struggle because of feelings of deterioration and because he felt so cold. It seemed that some malignant force was trying to take out the Most Haunted team one by one. Now, Most Haunted are not the most respected ghost hunting team in the world, but we'd love to hear what you think of this footage. Haunted Forest. Destination Truth differs from other paranormal reality shows in that it usually focuses on the field of cryptozoology. Each episode features 2 locations and tries to prove the existence of cryptids, which includes creatures such as werewolves, mermaids, and Bigfoot. Like Most Haunted, the members of the production crew participate in the investigations, rather than just staying off camera. In episode 1 of season 3, Josh Gates and his team investigate the Transylvanian forest of Hoyobaku, supposed to be the world's most haunted forest and a place we have covered on several occasions. Visitors to the forest often complain of powerful feelings of anxiety and of being watched, causing some to feel unwell. Once the team had set up a base camp in the forest, they proceeded to place night vision and infrared GPS cameras all around the area. They experienced cold spots, strange lights, and found that their electronic devices began to malfunction, something that has regularly happened to other visitors in the forest. Josh took a 30-minute isolated EVP session in a circular clearing that is notorious for paranormal manifestations. He also took soil samples from the area that is strangely empty of any living vegetation. At the time of the Destination Truth investigation in 2009, 45 ghost sightings had been made at the location. At the end of his turn, Josh handed over to Evan, who is seated alone on the floor. Suddenly, and without any warning, Evan is violently dragged backwards and yanked away from the circle by some unknown entity or force. Take a look.
This may sound really weird, but I'm hearing some
kind of like female voices, but they're kind of barking, like from different parts of the forest.
Whoa, he's gone. Get out there, come on, go, get a camera. Evan!
Look, the camera fell off the back rig.
Where did he just go? Evan? Oh, there he is.
Rex, come in immediately, please. We have an emergency. Come out to the clearing right now.
Hey, can you sit up? Can you sit up?
Let's all give him a second.
He's in a state of shock.
Just try to get your bearings. Oh, I have never seen it.
I don't know, I just feel like itchy.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Is that?
Good scratch.
Those were not there before. Those scratches are new. These are like these linear, they look like claw marks, Evan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although the EVP sessions and photographs could easily be explained away, the footage of Evan being brutally flung backwards still remains unexplained. What do you think? Paulding Prison, Ohio. Portals to Hell is a paranormal show presented by Jack Osborne and Katrina Weidman, who also appeared in both Paranormal State and Paranormal Lockdown. The premise of the show is to visit eerie places that are said to conceal some sort of doorway to hell. For the first episode of the second series, Jack and Katrina presented a 2-hour special on Old Paulding County Jail in northwest Ohio. The jail was closed in 2006, and in 2015 was sold to Shelley Robertson, who is the founder of the paranormal investigation and research group 187PI. In addition to the building being haunted, it's also linked to the unsolved murder of 14-year-old Nancy Eagleson, who was abducted, raped and shot in 1960. Her body was found in nearby woods by 2 hunters just hours after her abduction. However, later investigations into the case uncovered a bricked-over area in the basement of the jail, as well as hidden walkways and cells, where they found a piece of clothing and a girl's shoe that Nancy's mum identified as belonging to her daughter. Shelley believes the prison is haunted by at least 7 separate spirits, including the murdered girl Nancy and her suspected murderer, Sheriff John Keeler. Shelley gives Jack and Katrina permission to break down the wall of the last bricked-up cell, next to the one where the cold case evidence was discovered. So the team gets a stonemason to carefully carry out the task. After removing some stones, Jack is able to climb into the cell where he discovers what looks like human vertebra. Take a look.
Watch that sharp rock, there you go.
This is where...
Whoa, that's bones.
Is that a bone?
There's bones in here, guys.
Looks like vertebrae.
At the end of the episode, Jack tells the viewers that the bones were taken to the sheriff's office, who sent them off to their lab. Weeks later, they were returned to Shelley, who was told that they were just animal bones. Unconvinced, Shelley got back in touch with Portals from Hell, and they sent them to Dr. Joanne Bytheway, a respected anthropologist. She believes the bones were in fact human. The Island of Dolls. Ghost Adventures needs no introduction. They're probably the most famous ghost hunting show in the world. Every episode usually starts with a tour of the supposedly haunted location with the site's caretaker or owner, and interviews with people who have experienced paranormal events there. The crew then mark the sites of the supernatural events so that they can return to them and set up night vision cameras to use during their overnight vigil. In Season 10, the group travelled to Xochimilco in Mexico to one of the world's strangest and creepiest tourist attractions, the Island of Dolls. For those of you who have never seen it, the Island of Dolls is located just south of Mexico City and is one of several artificial islands that are used for a unique type of farming. In the 1950s, a man named Don Julian Santana Barrera left his wife and child and moved to one of the islands to live a life full of solitude as a farmer. One day, Santana found a little girl drowning in the canal, tangled up in the water lilies. He desperately tried to save her, but by the time he got to her, she was already dead. Beside her was the doll floating in the water. Some stories say that Santana hung the doll on a nearby tree to honour the poor girl. Others say he had to hang the doll there to stop the spirit of the girl from haunting and tormenting him. Still, another tale says that Santana displayed the doll there to help the girl ward off the evil spirits of the afterlife. Whatever the reason, after her death, Santana began to hear footsteps, whispers, and tormented wails at night. Driven by fear, over the next 50 years, Santana added more and more dolls to the collection and eventually built a shrine to the first doll in the centre of the island in the form of a ramshackle shack. The first doll still sits in a small niche encircled by offerings and candles, surrounded by other special dolls. When Santana died in 2001, apparently his body was found face down in the canal in the exact same spot that the girl was found all those years before. Today there are hundreds of dolls hanging from trees and poles all over the island, some with their heads and limbs missing, giving the island a macabre and creepy feel, making it the perfect place for ghost hunting teams to investigate. Zach Bagans and the team arrived on the island with Harold the haunted doll to see if he would interact with the first doll, but they got more than they bargained for, as just as they started to take Harold out of his bag, this happened.
Here, I'll come from the side. That way I don't blind the camera. No, I'm not ready for this. Oh! Whoa!
Oh my god. This.
I backed up, and all of a sudden I hear it started. I thought it was a cat fight. I thought a cat started fighting. Oh, that was scary.
The question is, were the creepy dolls responsible for that, or was Harold up to his old tricks? What do you think? So that's it for this video. We hope you've enjoyed these 5 creepiest pieces of footage caught on ghost hunting TV shows. Thanks for watching. We hope you're enjoying all of the scary videos this month, and are excited for Halloween, and we'll see you tomorrow for another video.